Hello everyone, my name is Tongsly, and welcome back to another episode of Persona 5 Tactica. Where we last left off, we have just coincidentally helped the silk shop owner in protection against the Eisen group, or the Eisen squad, and we have gotten ourselves an update on our disguises. Although, even though she was painting on Toshiro's face, Toshiro seems to either wiped it off or the developers decided not to add that on his 2D PNG model. But that's fine, because honestly, the added black around his mouth to make him look more and more like a thief and all that was stupid. I feel bad for Toshiro having to go through this. I feel like he deserves a little bit more respect to be given an actual disguise. But it seems Yuki is too focused on wanting to disguise him to look like a thief more and more. Which I feel like is going to get us in trouble very much soon. But everyone else is disguised. We got some disguised as local samurai, similar to how the Eisen squad looks. And we also got some others dressed very beautifully, very nicely. We got everyone looking great. And now we're going to be going back to the plan on how we are going to infiltrate, take care of the surveillance, and free the slaves. 3 steps.
While all of you were preparing, Yuki-san and I discussed how to proceed. I'm going to explain the entire operation, so listen carefully.
Yeah, we can't really just charge in like this, so what are we gonna do?
I've got it all planned. But first, hear me out.
Okay.
I call it Operation Double Pincer Attack Mach 2.
Operation Double Pincer Attack Mach 2?
This name's super lame too, but in a totally different way.
I mean, it's not as bad as Arena's was in the past. Not meaning to disrespect Arena, but seriously, that name, I decided to just make myself forget it as much as possible because of how silly it sounded, like a child's plan for getting a jar of cookies. So I just went with forgetting it. This one's at least a little bit better, but still kind of odd.
Looks like this guy's got his own problems coming up with names.
For this operation, we'll split up into 2 teams. The diversion team will pose as Eisen squad members and use the front entrance.
Okay.
That'll be Sakamoto-kun's group as the Eisen squad, and Nijima-kun's group as the geishas. It would be great if you could come up with an excuse to throw a banquet. If that goes according to plan, then you can ask around for info about the facility.
There should probably be a control room somewhere in the building. And also a labor camp if the rumors turn out to be true.
So, we'll infiltrate the Eisen squad and distract them while collecting intel, correct?
Yes, and the team sneaking in through the back entrance will be Morgana-kun, Sakura-kun, myself, and Yuki-san.
Yuki-san too?
Yes, you're doing this for our sakes. I can't simply sit by and do nothing. I know all about this town, so I should be able to help, at least a little bit.
She can't fight or fend for herself, but it's the least she can do to help out. We're gonna need someone with details on the place.
I tried to stop her as well, but she wouldn't listen. In any case, our infiltration team will find an opening to sneak into their base. Our team's objective is to rescue the citizens and disable the cameras.
Once we get into that control room, we've got this in the bag.
Once we achieve our goal, we'll leave immediately. The diversion team will then also retreat. Well, that sums up the operation. Any questions?
Yeah, I'd say no objections here. It sounds alright.
Excellent. In that case, let Operation Double Pincer Attack Mach 2 commence!
Honestly, my only objection is to that operation name.
Oh, there is one important detail I forgot to mention. This plan hinges on the assumption it will all go well, but you may very well run into trouble.
Like always.
If you ever feel like you're in danger, make sure to retreat. Is that clear?
Why are you looking at me?
You sound like the most nervous.
Because clearly you need to hear this the most. Need I mention your prior record? If you act recklessly again, it could endanger the success of the operation. Well, do you get it now, huh?
Yeah.
What's with this attitude of yours?
This is old man Kasukabe harassment.
What?
There's no such thing! That's it. Today, I'm going to speak my mind.
Those two seem to get along real well, don't they?
All right, everyone. We should return to my tea house for now.
Yeah, it'd really help us out if we could use your place as our hideout.
Infiltrating an enemy base will be very dangerous.
I mean, in my opinion, I don't see us changing what the hideout's going to be, being it's still LeBlanc. It's the best and safest place that our characters know. Even though the outside of the building's different, the inside is still LeBlanc. It's honestly the best place.
So please use my shop to prepare yourselves as much as possible. Be sure to wear these disguises whenever you go into town as well.
Okie dokie. New quest has been added. And they're playing cards on the bottom left right there. I like how they're kind of Persona 5 themed, like how they have like the black and red with white coloring. And Morgana's being a little sneak. I saw that. They got the Joker card. And everyone over there is enjoying some curry. Nice. Alright, let's see about some of these questionnaires that people have to question or talk about.
Hey,
Yuki-san, do you know anything about any alternate worlds?
actually,
I'm afraid not. I've been living in this town since I was born. Here, people don't really think about what's outside. Yeah, let's ask Irina that. Yeah, for me, that country, well, world I guess, was all I had ever known. Is that so? Then I'm sure you were quite surprised as well.
yes.
Well, when I first heard the story from the Phantom Thieves and Toshiro, I was at a complete loss. But then, when I thought about how there are worlds other than the one I know, I couldn't help but feel excited. I mean, the world you're all from is much bigger, with lots more people in it, right? Sounds like a wonderful place.
No.
I recommend not setting your expectations too high. The real world is an unpleasant one, rampant with self-interested power mongers. You may not suddenly be dragged off by guards, but still, it's not much different from here.
Is that so?
I see. I apologize. That was an insensitive thing to say to someone who is suffering from living here. No, if that's how you say your world is, then I will take your word for it. But I believe that perhaps
But
that is the very reason why you Phantom Thieves stood up in the first place. That's right.
But
Except what you did violates the rules of society, and certainly cannot be... Well, it is undeniable that your actions helped a great number of people. Yes, and they have a huge fan base. It seems things have been quite complicated.
not exactly.
You're thinking about it too much, Toshiro. We all want to help people in need, Isn't that enough for an explanation? My favorite part is how every time the group is gonna do their, like, calling cards, like, everyone, like, gathers around as Futaba sets up, like, the whole, like, hacked servers to, like, blimps and stuff like that, and then everyone just, like, speaks with, like, their voices mixed up using her, like, tech she has to sound completely different while sounding like themselves. That's my favorite part of the calling cards, is when all of them do that special, like, announcement in that way. Your simplicity is truly staggering. I knew being boorish is in your nature, but how about you use your head a little more? What we call society is...
Wow.
Ah, Toshiro-san, you like boars? Huh? Here at the LeBlanc Tea House, we have a meal we call curry that features boar meat. I'll start preparing some right away. Would you and Arena care to try some?
No, well, that's...
I never actually said I liked boar. Toshiro's saying he doesn't want any. You could just give his portion to me. That's not what I was saying either. I simply have my own preferences when it comes to curry. I like pork, so boar meat should be fine. Actually, I imagine the wild taste of the fat probably goes quite well with the rouge. I think that's the roe. I don't know how to pronounce that. Well then, I'll start preparing some right away. Oh, by the way, Yuki-san. As thanks for letting us stay here, leave cleaning the shop to us.
Oh.
Oh my, that would be such a help. While I'm making the curry, could I ask you to start on the seats and counter? And Toshiro-san, please take care of the toilets. Why do I have to do those?
Really?
Huh? Toshiro, weren't you saying how good you were at household chores? Oh, and the tools are in there. Thank you so much. Alright, fine. Poor Toshiro. Why is it always me? But when you say you're going to do something, you do it all the way. Time to show everyone the Toshiro toilet cleaning technique.
All right.
This is for the boar curry. Let's do this, Tongsly-kun. He just dragged me into it. Toshiro, you lost some of my respect now for dragging me into toilet cleaning. Checking the new outfits. Alright, we've got our disguises. Now just a little break before we start the operation.
What if...
You know, the shop really is something. The town outside is total ancient Japan, but in here it's completely modern. There's even a TV. That's what I pointed out! That's what I pointed out when we first got inside. Because seriously, you can see it in the background. There's the TV. There's a modern metal sink. And all of this, like, all of this stuff did not exist in ancient feudal Japan. This is all modern stuff, so that's what's throwing it off for me, is like, I was hoping the inside would look like I was imagining this, but all replaced with feudal Japan era, like, stuff, replacing what these things represented back then. But they're throwing it off, in my opinion, with how it's like all ancient looking outside, but inside it's like, hey, welcome back to your timeline. It's so odd.
Right.
It's thanks to that modernity that we can drink coffee. Cheers for LeBlanc.
Oh.
Wow, you totally freaked at first, but now it's like you're a different person. You just accept things too fast. I have no choice but to toughen up. So let me get this straight. First you were a groom, and now you're a wanted criminal. I mean, I was a fugitive too, but they sure didn't want me as much as they do you. This isn't a joke. Ugh, why am I always the one these things happen to? I was getting tongue-tied for a second. But if you're a wanted criminal, that means you must have committed some serious crime, correct? Well, Lady Marie did say that he couldn't escape from his crime. Something tells me she knew the next world we were going to, being that it's kind of literally related to what she just said to him. Even though we thought she was just trying to get under his skin. But I think she was actually making a point. But that still makes you wonder, what sort of thing did he do? And why is it seeming to be like people that he's related to that all this is happening for? Like, what sort of thing started all of this in the first place? Especially to throw us into a completely different metaverse that is now linked to other metaverses. That is what I'm concerned about. I was expecting it to be like Strikers, where we finish a metaverse, maybe go back to the real world, do shopping there, blah 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 blah, see Lavenza in the Velvet Room, do the Persona stuff, blah blah blah, and then go back to the metaverse to continue missioning and all that. But now we're just stuck here, and Toshiro is in the very middle of it. Something went horrible. And it's not just the fact that he was put in a relationship with such a horrible woman. With a very interesting choice in fashion wear, might I add. I mean, but... Anything that comes to mind, Toshiro-san?
Not quite.
I'm sure it's quite obvious that I have no recollection at all. There's nothing more unreasonable than being chased around for an unsubstantiated crime. Ugh, reading some of these words that I'm not used to reading. I'm used to wording stuff like this differently. I mean, all I can do is just agree with him, because for all we know, I feel like his amnesia stuff happening is actually maybe a little bit more true than everyone thinks. Because, like, he started remembering things and he started having, like, headache pains back with Lady Marie when he started remembering a bunch of stuff. I feel like the headaches might actually be really some weird confusing amnesia thing that this metaverse is putting effect onto him. But maybe it's also trying to make him remember. Who knows? Ah, that's right. You were being pursued by the police last year.
Oh.
We were in some serious trouble back then. There was even a bounty out on us.
Huh?
Oh. So if we handed over Toshiro, we could get loads of money as a reward?
That's enough.
Wait, are you planning on selling me out? Too bad, though. I don't presume you would get much for me. I think I could stand to have a little more confidence in yourself, you know? Oh, I think you could. I think I said I think I could. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Say, Toshiro-san did get captured. What do you think they would do with him? Well, they're not gonna marry him. So, I feel like either he would just be put to rot in jail for the rest of his life until he died, which I don't even know if age is even affected in the metaverse. Maybe it is. I think characters, if like humans got stuck in these metaverses in this world's lore, I think they still get affected by age. I don't know. Or they were just killed. They would just probably execute him. We have no clues as to what this Yoshiki character wants, but if we base our thinking on the ways of old Japan, he'd be sent to a prison house and whipped, made to sit on spikes, tied into uncomfortable positions, tortured in all sorts of ways. And after the confession they force out of him, decapitation if he's lucky. Though, most likely, he'll be tied to a pole in front of the prison. Toshiro literally looks like he's about to puke. I'm not sure what all of that entails, but it sounds really bad. Well, that's why we're here, to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. Nothing to worry about. Right, Toshiro? Huh? Where did he go?
Please, stop.
Don't say my name so loud. There are cameras everywhere. Oh god, now he's just too freaked out. Okay, Yusuke, I think you went a little too far with describing the horrible things that'll happen to him. Yeah, exactly. He's totally freaked out, Futaba.
Oh,
I mean, look at him bouncing up and down. He's actually wearing the towel, too. He was so against it at first. Yuki-san went through all the trouble of picking it out for me. I couldn't neglect such kindness.
Yes, that's it.
But I'm begging you, noble phantom thieves. I'm innocent, so please protect me.
you gotta be kidding.
Wasn't he supposed to be a tough guy now? Anyway, our next move is to infiltrate the enemy base.
Sound good?
Once we start the operation, there's no telling when we'll be able to come back. Keep that in mind as you prepare. Sure thing. But sadly, I'm going to have to continue that in the next episode because I'm actually all out of time for this one with how long all of that literally took for them to have all that convo. That's the downside of some games like this is it has so much convo, but they're trying to make a story, which I'm not against. It's just I wish I had a little bit more events happening here and there. But it's still fun. I'm enjoying this game. I'm still having fun. So, in the next episode, we are going to begin our next mission operation. And I'll make sure off camera to take care of any Persona things I need to do, as well as weapons that I can be able to purchase for everyone. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. I just also noticed that Futaba is, standing and not sitting and eating, but I think it's because she's majorly slack-jawed in how much curry both of those two are eating over there. I'm actually kind of surprised with how much curry they're eating as well. And these three are just literally swapping who has the Joker card. Come on, Morgana. Oh, Morgana. You guys keep grabbing the Joker card. You know, you guys are just planning this. You're pretending to react, but you're just having fun. So you guys just have fun. Anywho, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell so that you guys can stay notified of the content that uploads onto the channel and help support it. And as always, see you all in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.